Hello and welcome to the 41-month update of the Red Sea Reefer 250. Today I'm going to show you my new aquascape and some high-end SPS frags that I got for the tank. Hello guys, welcome back to Azul TV. Alright, this is what the tank looked like about 6 months ago when it turned 3 years old. Everything was growing really well and the corals were healthy. But there was just something about the aquascape that I didn't like, and I touched a little bit about that in my 6 mistakes video. If you haven't checked that out yet, here is the link above. So essentially, when I built this aquascape, I had kind of no experience with SPS or reefing, and I thought it made sense to kind of have the boulders be really high. And I mounted the SPS frags in a way where I essentially put a few number of frags and let them each occupy a large amount of space. So the end result of that is that I got a really large oppressive rock structure that prevented flow from going effectively around the tank. There wasn't also a lot of good places for fish to swim and hide. And then the colonies got really big. So I have essentially the blueberry wine colony, which you see on the left boulder, is just massive, and there's just really one SPS that's growing in the left side of the tank. I mean, there's the tenuous on the bottom, but it was just one colony taking a lot of real estate, and it was really difficult to frag. You can't move the rocks really easily. And there's just so many frags of blueberry wine that you could make and sell. Eventually nobody wants to have them anymore. So I wanted to kind of solve that problem by essentially removing this left boulder and coming up with a new aquascape that will A, allow for better water flow, B, allow me to have more diversity of SPS colonies, and C, to try to kind of solve the problem of fragging colonies once they grow a little bit. So I wanted to have a modular system whereby I could have smaller size colonies that I could easily access, take out if I need to, move them around if one is not happy, and also if I want to frag, I'm able to remove these colonies, take them to the counter and frag the SPS. So let me show you about what I worked out as a solution for my aquascape problem.
So here's the solution to my aquascape issues, and before I show you this, I want to just give a shout out to Abe from Coral Euphoria. Thanks, Abe, for your tips on aquascaping. Here's a link to his video. He has a really interesting way of aquascaping. And so again, the two problems that I'm trying to solve is that I don't want the colonies to get too big because I don't want any one colony to take over the space. Two, I want to be able to have the ability to change around the location of the SPS if, let's say, one colony is unhappy. And I want to be able to remove a colony really easily if I need to frag it. So what you're looking at here is it's really just a couple of big pieces of dry rock. This is a Pucani. This is, I think, a Tonga shelf. And what I've done is, I'm just going to show you how this is going to look when I have it in the tank. So this is going to be in the front, this is going to be in the back, so it's kind of gently sloping like this. I find that the bar reading are always a little bit higher in the front of the tank because the back of the tank has black coating on the glass, so it doesn't reflect light as well. And so what you're seeing here is I made these kind of really large frag plugs, and I just took ceramic discs, made a little hole, not a hole, but just like a groove using a 1/2-inch drill bit here. This is the tool that I use, a Ryobi with, I think this is a tile drill bit. And I have my little 1/2-inch acrylic rod here that is you can cut really easily. And then I made these kind of oversized frags, and I drilled holes in the rock, and so you have the major structure, and you have actually little bits of live rock that are attached to here. This one is naturally attached; it just kind of fits like a lock and key in position there. Yeah. hard to do this one hand. There it goes. This bit also kind of fits in the groove. And I mean, I could easily cement things here. This bit fits in a groove here that I'm going to have to cover a little bit with, so I'm going to have to put a little bit of epoxy here. But again, I drilled into this Buchanan here, and yeah, all of this is going to be glued down a little bit. This piece here, I actually I created a peg. I drilled a little bit of here, created a peg with the acrylic, and I created another position here. And so I'm going to glue this down a little bit. But the idea here is like all of this is essentially interchangeable. So if let's say I have a colony here or SPS here and it's not doing well, I could easily move it there or there or there. And so because all of these are modular, I could really interchange the colonies. And if I want to pull a colony, let's say I have a colony here, I could easily just remove the rock and take it out and frag it. Or just kind of with pliers remove this. And you know, I plan to create a little bit a better base for this. But essentially, yeah, so the plan is to well, you know, we'll see how it goes. I know this looks like a bit of an eyesore now with these discs, but ideally, once the SPS colonies kind of grow a little bit, all of this will be covered. So you're not really, at least I think, you're not going to be able to see it, or you're just going to be looking, so much of the focus is going to be on the colony, and you're going to lose track of these sites. But I feel like this system is going to give me like a good way to have diversity of colonies in my tank without letting one colony take over. I like how modular it is. I like how interchangeable things are. Also, the structure itself has a lot of. I could show you a little bit about how this is arranged. So this piece of Tonka shell, I had drilled a little hole here. And the other piece of Tonga shelf, I had drilled a little hole here, and it's kind of secured by this peg, and it naturally leans here. And there's just going to be a lot of opportunities for flow around here, and also like caves for fish to hide under. This is another problem that I had with another issue that I had with my aquascape, is that because the main structure was just made of solid rock, there was no natural crevices. I mean, the crevices in the Buchanan are kind of tiny, but there isn't like areas for fish to swim under and for flow to kind of move around. So this structure, I feel, is going to be a little bit more conducive, and I like the height. It's not as high as I built, like, so much. Just for perspective, this is, I think, that's about like maybe I'm gonna say like 6 inches. For my other for the current boulder that this is gonna replace, the rocks were stacked like up here, a good like 15 inches. So anyway, I'm just I'll see how this works. I like the fact that it's modular. I like the fact that I can move things around and disassemble this if I need to move it. It's not bulky. So the goal is to place this in some salt water, leave it curing a little bit. I'm not going to do like an extra long cure. I think I'm just going to soak it for a couple of weeks, and then into the tank it's going to go.
All right, so after I soaked the rocks in salt water for about 3 months, I went ahead and actually removed all the boulders on the left side of the tank. Don't you worry, I did manage to find somebody who's going to take the blueberry wine colony home, so I didn't chuck it in the garbage. But yeah, so I removed it, and I dunked in my new rocks, and I mounted some really cool SPS frags, which I'll tell you about soon. So here's what the new aquascape looks like. And so obviously, yeah, I replaced some really large colonies with small frags, so that's going to make the tank look a little bit less mature. But I still feel like this is has the potential for making a much more dramatic aquascape, and certainly an aquascape that's going to help enhance the diversity of SPS that I keep and allow me to kind of manage them a little bit better. I'm just showing pictures of the 8-line, my new 8-line Frasher Raz. He actually turned male. He's been in my tank for a while now, but he turned male, and he's just gorgeous. All right, so here's the new structure. And right away you see that it's not as high, and now I have like 5 different SPS on this rock as opposed to just one. And you'll see in a little bit about how like awesome this new rock structure is in terms of water flow and having space for fish to kind of move around. So right away you're kind of seeing more of a tank. There's less boulders. I found a new spot to put my open brain where it's kind of nice and fluffy now. You see there is a little cave here and a pass that the fish could swim through, and you could literally like see across the tank from the back. So this is a little I love playing peekaboo with my clownfish here. They really love this open brain coral, and I kind of get to spy on them from this side view. You see from the side view that you can literally see right across the tank, which means that water could flow all around the rockwork now. There is no more dead spots behind this big middle boulder. And then I'll show you the view from the other side. And again, there's just less rocks in the system, more opportunity for water to flow around, and fish to kind of find little crevices and swim. So here's a view from the other side. I also removed a little bit of the rock here. I shaved about like 3 inches off the back rock here, so I cut this the right side of this rock off. Again, to promote water flow, and I want to have more. I want to improve the circulation, because as the colonies get bigger, you really want to improve the circulation to make sure that you're removing derbies from your SPS and detritus. This is I feel like I know it doesn't look as impressive with fewer large colonies, but I think it certainly has the potential to turn into a really interesting aquascape as the corals get bigger. All right, let me show you the new cool SPS that I got, and I went and I got some really nice pieces. So this is the tenuous. This piece I kept. It was originally in the spot, but I changed the configuration a little bit. I have this jack-o'-lantern. This is an LPS, and I put it on this frag disc to kind of help it to grow. All right, so here are my new acros. So this is Atomic Firebomb, which all of the colors look a little bit muted now, but it looks a little bit like a strawberry shortcake when it grows out. So I'm looking forward to this. Here's an acro that I wanted for a really long time, and I finally managed to get. This is the Hawkins Ishinada, and I have very little luck with Ishinada, so hopefully this one will live, unlike its ice fire cousin, which I always manage to kill. And this is going to be, I think, the new star of my SPS, and it's a little bit hard to see, but this is a Jason Fox Jolt. And if you look at pictures of this on the internet, like real colonies in people's tanks, it looks amazing. It's a little bit muted, but it has potential to be a really kind of show-stopping acro. So happy that I managed to get it. And then this is something that I had before. This is my green slimer. This is the Jason Fox City Slicker, I believe. And again, if you look at like pictures of the mother colony, it looks amazing. So I don't want to say how much money I shelled for these new frags, but let's just say my bank account is like considerably smaller as a result. This is the reefer pink Cadillac. I'm trimming this colony because it goes really well. But I'm really like, this colony is growing on me. It's just beautiful. The blue polyps, the green to pink flesh with the white tips. It is really a beautiful colony. Behind it now is the bonsai. And again, I'm constantly kind of keeping the pink Cadillac in check, because it does tend to grow a lot faster, and it was shading a lot of the bonsai. But I think I managed to kind of I did like take several really large chunks of the pink Cadillac just to make sure the bonsai gets a chance to grow, and it looks like it's expanding now. Then I have my Cali Blue Tort, looking good, getting thicker branches. It's not growing as fast as the pink Cadillac, but it's certainly growing. On the bottom here we have the Pac-Man, reefer Pac-Man. Again, grows really well. I'm constantly fragging this piece to kind of get it to stay this size. I don't think I want it to be any bigger. Here's one positive story is that my Shockaholic is coming back. When I got this, it had like awesome fluorescent green tips like it does now. For the last 6 months, it went through a really like dumb phase where it was brown, but it's coming up nicely. I apologize for the wrasses. They get excited when they see me hovering over the tank. This is the Reef Orange Passion. Beautiful, beautiful Acropora. I can't think of a more beautiful Acropora. I think this is my favorite Acropora in the tank right now. And here is the Reef Marvin the Martian with crazy fluffy polyps, looking really nice. You see I'm getting a little bit of cyano on the rocks, but it's not a big deal. So here I have the Rainbow Loom on the right here, and if you remember, I had like a really nice red planet, a red dragon colony, and just it died overnight several months ago for kind of no apparent reason. It just melted away. Then on the right structure, I have the Major Laser. It's encrusting really well. I love the colors. I love the polyps. This is the Jason Fox Anacropora, and I'm really digging this colony. It's very whimsical. I love the color. It's a nice red. I don't have that color anywhere else. And then I have my Jason Fox Fox Flame, which is doing really well at the bottom of the tank. It's getting those lovely green fluorescent tips and pinkish flesh. There's another hole for another frag, which I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet, but I drilled another hole. This is a Rainbow Loom. I really manhandled this rock and the colony when I was re-aquascaping, so this is why it's a little bit unhappy. Here's my electric Miyagi Tort, guys. It's the color is coming back. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. This has the potential again to look really amazing. And then I got this tiny little frag, which is really expensive. This is Worldwide Corals Ding Dang Millie. It's looking really crappy now, but hopefully will grow into a lovely show-stopping colony like the WWC pictures. And for just the view from the top, you could really kind of appreciate how much space I have now, how much less rock and more opportunity for kind of water to flow and fish to move. So that's it, guys. This is the new aquascape. Hopefully you like it. Please let me know if you think it's a yay or nay. I know that some of you might think I'm a little bit ridiculous for ripping up two really large, beautiful Acropora colonies, but you know what? The tank is 3 years old, and after looking at the same acro for a while, sometimes a little change is nice. So variety of Acropora is the spice of life. All right, looking forward to your comments, and hope to see you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.